And to my performers out there who have blanked on stage before, you know, it just feels like you are standing up there naked. Like somebody just took off your clothes and put you up there to embarrass yourself. I feel like every actor has to remember their first audition because it probably went either one of two ways. Either one, it was so great and you went on to fame and fortune afterwards, or it was so terrible and you crashed and burned. Unfortunately, mine was the latter. My first audition was for this play called Moon Over Buffalo, which is a farce, which basically means over-the-top comedy. Now, I was in an acting class at the time, so I had a couple of monologues in the tuck, you know, some stuff I was working on, but they were all dramatic, and this is a comedy. So I went back and forth about even auditioning for it. But because I wanted to start getting into theater, I'm like, Ben, if you want to do it, now's the time to do it. So I scrambled on the day of. Again, very foolish of me. On the day of, I decided to do it, so I scrambled and found a monologue. I barely memorized it, and I headed to the theater. When I get there and walk into the lobby, I am immediately intimidated. Like, I see a room full of actors, and they're all walking around with their scripts, and they're reciting lines, and I'm like, oh, I don't sound nothing like that. Like, who are these people in here? Like, I thought this was a community college audition. Like, there's some professional actors in this room right now. So I'm already scared. But then the stage manager comes out and she says that, hey guys, because there's so many of you, we can't do this one by one. We're gonna make this a group audition. So we're gonna put you into like groups of 4 or groups of 5. And now I'm devastated because I'm like, okay, I might potentially bomb in front of the directors, but now you want me to bomb in front of my peers too? So super nervous. So my group goes in. And a few actors go up before me, and I'm like, okay, we got Meryl Streep, we got Marlon Brando in here. Like what am I doing here right now? So then they call my name, and I go up and I slate my name and the piece that I'm gonna perform, and I start. And to my surprise, I'm actually getting through this monologue right now that I barely memorized. And I get to a certain point, and I just completely blank. And to my performers out there who have blanked on stage before, you know, it just feels like you are standing up there naked. Like somebody just took off your clothes and put you up there to embarrass yourself. So I'm like, okay, I'm so sorry. Can I start over? I start over and I get to the exact same spot and I blank again. And now in this moment, I'm thinking either one of two things. I'm like, either I can run full sprint out of this theater and nobody will see me, nobody will even remember me, and I'll never return to the theater again. Or I can just go and sit down and just quit because there's no way that I'm gonna make it through this monologue. So I'm sitting there in like 30 seconds of silence, which felt like 30 minutes. And then Miss Janie Jones, she's like, hey, Ben, do you have something else maybe that you can give us today? And I'm like, well, I do have another monologue, but it's not comedic though. Like it's a dramatic one. And she goes, Ben, just give us something. So I take a breath and I prepare one of the monologues that I've already rehearsed. And I'll never forget, Janie and Michael looked at each other and they were like, okay. And then I sat down. And leaving there, I'm like, man, I am never gonna hear from these people ever again. Like, and I'll probably never even act again. Like, this is a sign, right? This is a sign that this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. But lo and behold, that evening, I got an email that I would be called back. And it was for an ensemble role. And ensemble basically means like you're moving furniture. Like you're not gonna have any lines in the play, but you'll be in it though. You'll be in the mix and like in the background and stuff. Although it was a minimal role, that did show me that even though I was messing up, like they saw something in me. Like even though I came unprepared, like they saw that I had some type of talent and that I can cultivate and that I can grow. Then I actually ended up doing that play, Moon Over Buffalo. And I am super grateful for that opportunity. And now looking back at it, that is really the training ground for a lot of the stuff that I did in the future to come. Like that's where I learned like stage combat and sword fighting. And I learned about comedy, about how it goes in threes, right? And how you can be over the top, but you can still keep it grounded in truth. So a lot of stuff that I used in plays later on, like it all goes back to that time of Moon Over Buffalo. And even the people, like I met people in that play who are still my lifelong friends, and that is really where I fell in love with the theater community. So I am super grateful for that opportunity. So thank you to Miss Janie Jones, who unfortunately isn't here with us today, and of course to Michael Madsen. Now, it was in this audition where I learned 3 key principles.